Welcome to MBG Knowledge. This is Mr. MJ, and in today's tutorial, we're going to look at how to find the standard deviation using a three-column table. As you can see, we have a question there, and if you look at our data here, our data is a grouped data. We can see we have a lower limit and the upper limit there, meaning there are numbers in between 0 to 5. So they are grouped into classes. You have to know that one. It's very important. So this type of data is what we call a grouped data. So for us to calculate the standard deviation here using the three-column table, that one requires us first of all to find the mean. Before we proceed, please, if you are new to this channel, may you please subscribe, and if you like the video at the end, share with your friends and put a thumbs up, because it will help out to reach a lot of people. Thank you very much. Now we proceed with our lesson. So if you look at on your right there, we have formulas, the formula for mean and also the formula for standard deviation. Now these two formulas, you can see on top here, it is indicated to say they are for the grouped data. So for you to find the mean, we have summation. This symbol you are seeing at the beginning here, this simply means summation, meaning addition. Addition of what? The frequency multiplied by x. So we have slots on each column here. That is, on this column here, I have the value for frequency, which is 13. Now, how do I get, or where do I get the value for x? Because x is where? In the middle of these two limits. So for you to get the value there, we'll say 0 plus, so we need to add those limits, the lower limit plus the upper limit. So 0 plus 5 divided by a 2, and that is 5 divided by 2. So if we divide a 5 by 2, the answer will be 2.5. You seen that? So this is how you find the value for x. So here I can now multiply, because I have the frequency, which is 13, I have x. So just like on the formula here, I'll say 13 multiplied by 2.5. You do the same here. So the value you get here, you add it to this. The other one, add it like that. So it will look in this manner. So here on the first slot, we are having the value for x as 2.5, and I'm multiplying 13 multiplied by 2.5. You do the same here. You say 5 plus 10, which is a 15, and dividing a 15 by a 2, we are getting 7.5. So you will multiply 7.5, you're multiplying it with the 17, which is the frequency. So you have something like this. So plus there. Then again, you do the same here. 10 plus 15, which is a 25. Divide the 25 by a 2, you are going to get a 12.5. And you multiply it with the frequency 35. And you have something like this. So repeat that procedure even for those remaining columns. So you have something like this. Okay. Now once you are done, we are coming back to the formula. The formula here you can see, we still have summation frequency. So the values for frequency are here. Okay. So we have 13, 27, 35, 16, 7, and a 2. So summation, remember we have said it's addition. So you are going to sum up all the frequencies here. All right. So when you sum up, you should be able to get the value to be 100. Okay. Now begin to multiply what is in the brackets. So if you multiply 13 here with 2.5, you are getting 32.5. Then if you multiply 27 times 7.5, you're going to get 202.5. So add, once you multiply, then we're going to sum them up. So multiply there, the same even with the last terms there. Then we're bringing back the 100. We have not used it. So now let's sum up all these values on top here. Okay, let's sum up all those values on top. And we are going to get a 1165. Then that value, make sure you divide it by 100 because we've not used 100 yet. So if you divide your value, the 1165 by 100, you should be able to get 11.65. All right. Okay. From here now, since we have a value for mean, we can go straight now into calculating the standard deviation. So from here, that's when now I can draw up the 3-column table. So even in your exam, make sure you draw up that table. Okay, so the table will look like this. The first column is going to carry the values for frequency. The second column, which is this one here, is going to carry the values for x. Then the last column, which is the third one, is going to carry the values that now will multiply. Here, we'll be multiplying the frequency into x minus x bar the whole square. So the x bar we found it at 11.65. So that's the reason why we start first of all with the x bar. So filling out the values for frequency, we have 13, 27, 35, 16, 7, and 2. We do the same with x. So the first value we found, after adding 0 plus 5 and dividing with the 2, we got a 2.5. And going on like that, we have a 7.5, a 12.5, we have a 17.5, 22.5, and 27.5. Then now I want to fill out the last column. So the last column, as you can see from here, we have frequency here. So the frequency on the first slot is what? 13. So I'll have to put 13 at the beginning here. Then there's a bracket. I'll open the bracket. And what value? Good, x value. And the x value here is 2.5. So you put 2.5 like that. Then minus x bar. X bar we found it as 11.65. Okay, so something like that. That is how we are going to be doing it. So in the end, it will be like this. So on each row, you're writing the data that you have. But here on the last slot, you're going to have the same value because you are still subtracting with the mean. So there we have the frequency is 27, value for x is 7.5. You can see the mean is the same there. So we'll fill out up to the end here, and then we'll handle the last part later. So now here on the last slot, you are going now to record. So do it directly on your calculator. Say 13 into, you open brackets, then 2.5 minus 11.65, close the bracket, put the square, and you should be able, when you punch the equal sign, to get 1088.3925. The same thing there, you multiply directly and you have that, and they are the same, and then you have 547.56, 824.0575, then 2, they are multiplying the 2 into 27.5 minus 11.65, the whole square, we're going to get a 502.445. Now you can see the last slot I've extended only 2 columns, the first column and the last column. So the last column, we are having summation of frequency into x minus x bar, the whole square. So these are the values that we have here. Summation, we have said addition, so we need to add up all these values. So you can just quickly go on your calculator and sum up all these values, and you should be able to get a 3,452.75. This is our whole value, that is the summation of this part here. Now the summation of frequency, remember it was 100, and we've sum up there. Now we can go straight into calculating standard deviation. So standard deviation is equal to, you can see what is on top here, the summation of what? So root of summation of this, and we have, this is the value here, you can see. Then we also have the summation of what? Frequency. This part here, we have the summation of frequency, which is 100 there. So just substitute the values. We are going to have like this. Okay, then we divide this 3,452.7 with 100. So if you divide it, you're going to have 34.5275. Then what is the root? What is the square root of this value here? You should be able to get the standard deviation as 5.88 to 2 decimal places. So it depends with what the question is asking you. I don't know, if you ask you to write in to 1 decimal place, you round it like that. But avoid rounding off values here, just from here. Don't round off your values from here. If your decimal places are going beyond 4, then just round it off to 4 decimal places. But if they're exactly 4, 2, don't round them off. Just write it like that until you round off your final answer. This goes the same with here. So it's better if you have the entire value, after you divide, you find that your decimal places, maybe they're exceeding 4. Just keep them like that. Punch on your calculator the square root of that, then round off your final answer. Alright, so our standard deviation is like that. Thank you very much. It was Mr. MJ on MBJ Knowledge. If you like this video, please leave a thumbs up, and if you are new to our channel, may you please subscribe. We'll have more of this. Every time we're going to be posting a lot of things, be it physics, sciences, let me say, then we'll have mathematics, ICT, business studies, and a bit of commerce. So if you want more of those, please leave a comment and tell me questions that are challenging to you, and we'll be able to help you. Thank you very much.